Dear delegates, welcome back for a very important and informative session. Now we have organized a panel discussion on SME's digitization growth strategy. Kindly put your phones on silent mode and do not disturb the panelist and the panel discussion. To participate in this panel discussion, I would like to invite the panelist, Mr. Chandrakant Salunkhe, founder and president, SME Chamber of India and Maharashtra Industry Development Association, Mr. Vinod Chandnani, CIO, Digital Transformation Design and Systems Thinking, Patel Engineering Limited, Mr. Vishal Bhatt, Vice President, SME Division, Tata Telebusiness Services, Mr. Tobin Thomas Verghese, Cloud Solution Architect, Microsoft Co-Pilot, Mr. A.V. Devidas, Director, Altius Tech Insurance Broking Private Limited. I request Mr. Salunkhe to chair the session and take the lead to initiate the discussion.
Good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon. You had tea? Yes. You know, when my friend Mr. Verghese was showing the AI and Ms. Sakshi Kulkarni told me, let us have a break. I said, no, let us show the tea cup there and say that, you know, just have a virtual tea here only and interact with each other. Will you accept that? No, it's not a joke, but it's a real thing will be happen in future, because they will not give a tea break, but they will show the tea on screen and they will say, enjoy the tea break here in house and exchange your cards. So let's give a big hand to Mr. Verghese and Vishal, particularly to presenting the thoughts, particularly for the improvement of the efficiency of the main workforce, particularly on the entrepreneurs also. Friends, we know that Tata Telebusiness Services putting efforts, and I give compliments to Tata Telebusiness Services for creating awareness program, putting a lot of money to create this kind of awareness program constantly, not just one or two in 1 month or half a year or once in a year. They are doing a lot of activities, and I am observing their activities and do big. Why they say do big? Especially for the SME entrepreneurs. Unless until you will not think big, you will not become big. There are around 6.5 MSMEs in India. In that, hardly 2 lakh small companies and around 23 lakhs small companies and 2 lakhs medium-sized companies. All 6.25 crore, all are micro and tiny companies. So think that there is a huge efforts to be required to particularly to empower tiny to micro and micro to small. Recently I was attending one meeting with the RBI governor, and I presented my thoughts that if India wants to become Vikasit Bharat, first you have to Vikasit our entrepreneurs, SME sector. Am I right, Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. So that means, we have to put efforts. What? Technology, efficiency, easy or a level playing field, easy market, and somehow to empower SMEs, empower their main workforce, particularly for efficiency, particularly for the quality productivity. So therefore, today's discussion on the SME Industry Summit, especially the Tata Telebusiness Services brought this idea that how we can put efforts to empower the industry, particularly for growth-oriented stories, to create the growth-oriented stories. That's why we are here today to discuss. Digital platform, digitization and digitalization. After this pandemic, we have learned many things. We understand the importance of the digitization. Digital platform is not only, providing the solutions for the connectivity. You must be seeing both the, Vishal's and Mr. Verghese's presentation, that it is changing day by day. It is improving day by day. Now AI entered. So tomorrow plus AI will become. How Microsoft 365 came. After that, there are a lot of 365 additional came. So there are plenty of technology developed, and every minute, every second there is a technology developed. Somebody told, I think Vishal, every day the different type of technology come. The Mexican Consul General also said, per day we have 400 billion business US dollars they are doing with the USA. So that means a big opportunity for Indian entrepreneurs, particularly those who are looking to start export, start manufacturing, or start any bilateral trade with the Mexico. So friends, let us take take this discussion forward, and to understand the digital revolution, particularly driving force for the SME growth. I would like to bring our Mr. Chandani to have his thoughts, particularly in the perspective of the SME manufacturing industry, or SME services, where we can put efforts to empower them.
First, thank you very much for this opportunity. Let me give you a little bit of history about what we do. I am the CIO for Patel Engineering Limited. We are a large infrastructure development company. We make dams and tunnels. In fact, it was only about 2 weeks back that the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, inaugurated the Sela Pass tunnel in Tawang, close to Tawang, which is the longest bi-lane tunnel at 13,000 feet over sea level. The next project that we are going to work on, and we are working on, and we're going to inaugurate it probably next year, is going to be the largest hydropower unit in the country, 2,000 megawatts. And fortunately for us, we've had the longest, highest, biggest in this last 4 years, starting COVID. And the only reason why we could wing it during the COVID time is because of the digitization. We started this effort in 2010 the first time. In 2014, the industry took a kick. And we slowly surfaced back in 2017. And just when we were coming out, and COVID happened. It was a curse in a way, but it also was a blessing for digitization, because we started thinking differently. Data is oil, but information is an attitude. And the reason I'm saying that is because the one place where I feel that we will have a hiccup is because we are very transactional. We use all systems, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and even in tier 1, because we are always running out of capital. We need to pursue banks where we give our data in, against which we get capital. When we do that, we are busy trying to close our books. So all our systems and databases are around getting our work done, which is very transactional. We have a lot of data. Now the insights that we can collect from that data, through which we can actually grow, progress, and actually the word progress, we are usually going after our projects because we make dams and tunnels where we have at least 2,000 people, and we have every sector, every site involved in our projects. Mechanical, electrical, HR, banking, compliance, finance, you name it. And the underlying current in all of this is digitization, as Mr. Vishal said, that they no longer seek me as CIO. They come after the supply chain. In fact, I was with Sandvik Asia yesterday, the earth-moving company, and we are looking at how do we stop the intervention of a human to enter data, where we can get data through machines, the IoT. But the problem is, we are not skilled at a median level or at the top level to actually seek insights to make the decisions at the right time, at the right place, for the right instance. And in fact, when you were giving the demo of Microsoft Pilot, I was thinking, what a fantastic tool again. Because I no longer have to tell my people, did you look at a report? I can now, because we're still living in the world of BI, right? So BI is excellent. It's a layer over data, where I can extract data and look at the reports that I want. But now, who goes to a BI report? Nobody. It's only to give fancy presentations to give at review meetings to show where we are to defend ourselves, really. But if I can question that data on the fly from my data set and say, do I have enough stock for my PPEs today, or for my cement, or for my aggregate, and I get it right there at that time, I save a lot of time getting to my review meetings at the end of the month where the problem has already happened. I'm going in prevention mode with accurate information in time rather than actually fixing stuff. Having said that, when we work in the mountains, we have a saying, first we go, then the goats come, because we work in the Himalayas. Absolute remote areas, where we go, after that it doesn't look the same, fortunately or unfortunately. Unfortunately because we work in dams. Fortunately is because that's where we create markets. Now we have subcontractors who are actually two men and a truck. How has digitization affected that man who's in the mountain? So we have a very regular man who has about 100 laborers he'll supply to us. But something has changed. He comes with an Aadhaar card for every person, because now the PF has to be deposited in the last man's account, which as a primary contractor comes to my accountability in compliance. Otherwise they can shut a large company down. So the last man now has access, because of digitization, on his phone, on the EPFO website, where he can get loans against his contribution, and he can see it on a daily basis. That's digitization. But for that man to go from a small and micro system to get into a median size, the jump is too large. Will he do it in this lifetime, in tier 2, tier 3? We don't know. So summits like this are a good thought process to think, how do we get that gap going? Because it's very difficult for one, working capital, very difficult. That's how we started the introductory session. And all three are very pivotal points. No working capital, lack of skilled labor. I think we are moving too fast with data, as much as I love data, because the catch-up is going to be so huge. When the internet came out, we said, how do people actually, KYC was a big thing for senior citizens. We were asked to have Aadhaar cards, get KYC. Senior citizens don't know what we are talking about because they didn't have email access. Now we're going to have that big divide between people who have access to data and don't have access to data and don't know how to use it. The skill issue. And access to infra. There was a lot of talk about me putting things together digitally, getting your licenses together and stuff like this. But we need an accelerated approach to that to have that divide. Otherwise, we're going to have a very big divide, this time not a capital divide, but a data divide. Because we have data, we just don't know how to use it. So that's my opinion on where we are going with data. And also accessibility. Like I said, we work in the mountains. As easy and hard it is, I remember the first time I went to the Himachal area, and it was very heartwarming. I saw this little shepherd girl sitting at the edge of the mountain, and we didn't have access to internet. And she was sitting there, and I'm like, how the hell is this girl going to communicate? And she turns around and she has a mobile phone in the hand and she's got 100 sheep around her. So the penetration of the smartphone and the hotspots are there. But to get this volume of data to work in the mountains, we don't have that kind of bandwidth as yet. We need to get the country to get the bandwidth to the last point so that we can have one version of the truth in what we do through the internet, so our journey to the cloud actually benefits the last man standing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rather, I don't know whether you have interacted with Mr. Anurag Jain or Mr. Gadkari to present the, some plans or some design, or say like the infrastructure development plan. You must be aware that both of them are very stalwart from this sector in infrastructure, and Patel Engineering is one of the leading company in this infrastructure and road development. there are plenty of players, those are preparing the presentations. I remember in 1995 when we had been to the USA to visit some in Napa Valley along with the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, then Chief Minister, recently died, Mr. Manoj Joshi. And that time I said, Joshi sir, can you see the roads, the infrastructure here? So he said, are you teasing me or what? I said, why? But because our roads are not good, that's why. He said, maybe. So you can learn from here. So he learned from there, and the second day he announced that we will be constructing, we will be developing the roads in Maharashtra, Mumbai region and Pune region equal to this. And because of that, you must be aware that Mumbai-Pune expressway developed, and after that India's roads developed. And special thanks to Patel Engineering also, they are putting a lot of efforts. So coming back to the point, in this development, a lot of SMEs also working and putting a lot of support to all the large companies for supply chain or procurement. Vishal, I think you must be giving the presentation every week on the SME perspective. And while giving presentation, you must be facing a lot of questions from the SME point of view. One is the technology, developed technology, advanced technology, affordable technology, महंगी technology और सस्ती technology. बहुत सारे विषय आते होंगे और इसमें है कि मोस्टली यूजफुल टेक्नोलॉजी, डिफिकल्ट टेक्नोलॉजी और यूजर फ्रेंडली टेक्नोलॉजी. So what is your observation while dealing with the SME's perspective particularly and presenting your thoughts in front of entrepreneurs and SMEs?
Yeah, see, first of all, I would thank Mr. Chandani to kind of put his thoughts, he's put it rightly, like in a way, and I come to your question, is one of the challenges. The challenges is technology comes later. The first is what is the aspiration of an SME and what are the challenges they face. And if you go and talk to an SME today, talk to any budding entrepreneur or an established SME organization, the first and the most important thing is they want to scale. They want to become big. And the question is how. And when you ask them, do you have the adequate funds to kind of invest? Obviously the first answer is no. So then do you have the skill? Do you know what to do? The answer clearly is no. So when you look at these aspirations and challenges put together, that's where we believe we play a very, very important role as an organization. And from a technology point of view, that's where the technology comes into play. And we, as a company itself, the Tata Tele business, have changed our approach in terms of how we deal with the customers today. And when we say deal, it's no longer, as we said, it's no longer a story of an IT head or it's much, much beyond. So it's about the entire operations, the organization. So what we've done is basically taking a few extra steps in reaching out to our customers. So we do, one of the examples is this forum. It's a very open forum. There is no product sales out here. We're not talking about a specific selling area here. It's a very generic discussion, and the discussion is about you, and discussion is about telling your business, saying I have to be there. And effectively, when we do all these discussions one-to-one with our customers, we do lots and lots of workshops. When we say workshops, it's about bringing various functional heads together at one place and telling them about how and what segment is doing, where they are going, what are we doing as a country, what are you doing as a manufacturing or a banking or a construction segment, and what is happening outside, how do you adapt to all these is very important. So those technical workshops basically help them look at the entire journey, look at the entire operations and say whether they would need it at this point of time or for the future. The other element of the whole story is what's very important for any organization today is to think whether they're really thinking about it. And that is where management top management in any organization plays a very, very important critical role. It's the management buy-in who has to kind of first think, yes, we have to kind of look at it, and then only the people down below will happen. So that's where those CXO level, CIO level, all those level of discussions are happening from our side, and we do lots of symposiums around across the country, and not only here in Mumbai, across the country, and educating people and bringing that into platform. And to help SMEs, at the end of the day, when we say we are an infrastructure provider, we have now become more of a digital organization, and that is where we felt the need of not only looking at our in-house products, we kind of then collaborated with, I have gentleman on my right, which is Microsoft, and there were lots and lots of products. Similarly, other alliances. One of the gentlemen was asking me, do you have a collaboration with Zoom? I said, yeah, definitely, it puts Zoom also. So these are direct principal alliances, and that's how the collaboration products come into place. And we as an organization are very clearly kind of committed in terms of educating people, guiding people, and the optimal use of the technology. And when you say that skill, the one-stop solution, the cost, and his whereby we basically encounter those challenges from people, and that's how we address it from our side.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. You know, I bought the latest iPhone, and I started using iPhone for my regular use. And my staff said, you know that there are so many options in that, where you can utilize for your, for improvement of efficiency. Similarly, the booklet kept on your table, you can see that. All of you must have seen the booklet. The booklet which is includes all the information on Tata Tele Business Services, where you will understand what is the product, what are the products they are dealing, and what are the products useful for your business. Please open the CA later on after the panel discussion. So coming back to the, as a architect of particularly the cloud segment, Mr. Varghese, what challenges you observed amongst the entrepreneurs and their main workforce currently, and what challenges you are going to define when AI will enter in their business?
Yes, and so I'll have to start this with a scenario I had to deal. It's a customer in India, banking customer, right? The point I'm trying to make is, as Vishal mentioned, that it's really important that leaders understand the importance of technology, security, the data, right? At some level, at some point, that relationship is getting cut, okay? Now, I am having this discussion with the CIO of this, it's a small bank, okay? I tell them the entire stack of Microsoft productivity, how it works, how secure it is, everything, right? After 25 minutes of speaking on this, right, the CIO asked me one question, not me, but the sales manager, the sales head, right? Abhi kaise karte hain? Right? So the sales guy said, sir, so the question was, how do we transact PII in-customer document right now, right? The sales guy said, sir, WhatsApp pe chalta hai, like we send it through WhatsApp, right? And I asked this question, don't you think it's an insecure way to kind of handle PII data, right? We are good with it. But that mentality has to change, right? We have to be more focused on, or we have to give the importance to security, the data that we are handling for other customers, right? And how we adapt to technology, that has to be taken care of. And that is the biggest challenge I have seen, because prior to working in India subsidiary, I was working with US region. There they take this very seriously. Security, compliance, laws, legal stuff, it's all taken very seriously in that part of Western region. But in India, I mean, it's okay. I mean, even if your Aadhaar is shared with somebody else, I don't care. I mean, at least people don't understand, like if your Aadhaar goes to somebody else, he can use it to misuse it in a lot of different ways. And that seriousness is still yet to come in Indian public. And again, I mean, as I said, and Vishal also mentioned, right? This, our leaders needs to be aware of that, that technology is important, plays an important role in the business. And the moment that happens, it boils down from top to bottom, right? And everybody gets the gist of it. So that's the main challenge I've seen.
Okay, thank you. You know, friends, during the pandemic, we have observed that every person was, focusing on the health, wealth, And what is the third product? Can you say? Anyone? What is the third product which saved you? Insurance. Because most of the hospitals were charging too much, medical charges for providing. And that time you must be realized that what is the importance of the insurance. In 1980s, when we used to get the call from insurance agent, we said don't call again. Nowadays you are getting calls for banks. If insurance person call, okay, tell me what is your product. So what technology transformed, Mr. Devidas, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. 20 years back, people used to travel with a guide or what a agency manual or broker manual. Now the situation is changing. Whatever the product you require, you will get it immediately. The InsurTech is doing a fantastic job for that. Most of the insurers are adopting InsurTech. All intermediaries are adopting the technology. Whatever the product you require, you will get it immediately. If you want to get a claim, now the health insurance made a great revolution. You will get a cashless facility in the hospital within an hour. Same thing, motor insurance, you can renew while the traffic signal, you can renew your motor policy. You will get a motor insurance claim wherever you are traveling. From there itself, you can send only one photograph of the incident and details. Immediately, you will get a claim. So situations are changing. Now, insurance actually the sold product. Okay. Now the situation, the online portals creating lot of awareness. This is the customer's need is creating digitalization. Digitalization actually start from idea to revenue. Even insurance industry also say most of the carriers are adopting blockchain, AI, machine learning, and etc. for this insurance purpose. Then now coming in India, there is an entry for parametric insurance, index-based insurance. Now the SME's point of view, most of the SMEs having under insurance or a protection cap. I can tell you, the insurance means to cover your risk. Whatever the risk you have in your business, there is a coverage is there. Mostly the business interruption policies. Most of the insurance SMEs are not covering for business interruption policy properly. You know that at COVID time, only 5% of the SMEs got in India for this business interruption policy. Then cyber insurance, credit insurance. People are not aware that. There is a SMEs package policies there, but that is not cover your protection cap over whatever the insurance you actually require. Now the claim settlement, why you are taking the insurance for your claims. Then once you claim the policy, you can see the parameters what you are covered. Then only you will get a claims. Then this big data, artificial intelligence, etc. will do the underwriting easily. Now the InsurTech and FinTech is growing very fast. You will get an insurance policy instantly, even commercial insurance also. So SMEs maximum handling with the third party tie-ups. Then that is also required a lot of liabilities. Third party liabilities are there, supply chains and etc. For third party liabilities, lot of other products also there. D&O policies are there. These all of you know that. Workers' WC policy is compulsory, but SMEs are only 40% of the SMEs covered the WC policy. WC policy you will get nowadays instantly. You can go to the online, you will get it a policy instantly. Only you have to enter the data. Because if you use the online portal or this InsurTech platform, you are covering whatever the cover, you have to cover properly. That is why it is going very fast in the industry. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. You know, there are a lot of transformation happening in digital. Particularly last 3 years, we had seen the development happen. When Mr. Vishal is bringing one product, the cybercrime people are bringing ahead the product. They are sending link, as I know, sending the award, sending your job opportunity, some business opportunity, then your bank account is empty. So Vishalji, you have seen the transformation in this segment, and what more development we have to educate to the entrepreneurs particularly to go next level, no next step, because digitalization transformation is going on, but cyber crime is also simultaneously increasing. So how these Tata Tele Business Services products will save our businesses and our money, where we can utilize this transformation ecosystem to secure our business, secure our money, and secure our interest.
Yeah, again, I would like to take myself back to some conversation which we had years before in one of the forums. We used the word transformation. See, transformation is a technical word, basically. The important thing is the humanly word is transform. Well, technologies have come into place, but have we transformed is a big question. Banking works on pure applications today. It works on a bank app and all that, but how many of us still use it? There's a mass which is still not using it, which means the transformation is there, but the transform to that particular technology is not there, which is the most important thing here. And importantly, like, I'll relate a few examples of the whole story when you say transformation and transform. In one of the forums in long, maybe a few years before the pandemic, we had invited a keynote speaker in one of the forums like this. She was the one of the youngest mountain climbers. She had conquered Mount Everest at the youngest age, at the age of 17. And one of the questions which was asked to her, how could she do it at such a young age? And it was a brilliant answer. She said, it's no longer climbing a mountain, it's all management. So we didn't understand what is that. She said, like, when the first person would have got and conquered the Everest, we had no clue where the person was going. Today we at every step know what is happening, which means whether the forecast for weather is going to be bad, or this is going to be much steeper terrain or a less steeper terrain, technology is getting used. Now understand, if the person would not transform today, you will die. Very simple. And that's what people, and so that's on the consumer level, basically at an individual level, people have realized it's very, very important. And same goes with businesses. And in fact, recently we were with my colleagues, we were in a meeting, and we were in a meeting with a startup, and we were talking to the CTO, and while we have 1.5 hour discussion in terms of what needs to be adapted, what more can we do, and all that stuff, all those discussion. And end of the meeting, we kind of just asked him, saying, "Boss, tell me in summarized way, what do you want from our side?" He said, "Look, my requirements are very simple." I said, "What is that?" He said, "I want a frictionless interaction with my customers and vendors, and I want a automated handover from one step to other step. Can you give me this?" And behind this, I went back and I thought it's all about technology. So, and that's what the demand is. And when you ask like transformation, it is the need of the other person. Those people have realized, because the startup has reached 2,000 crore mark in 4 years' time. And if they would not talk about these things, they would never do that. So again, going back to what you said, the mindset, what we are saying, clearly saying, transformation, you will have tools, you will have all those steps coming out, you will have co-pilot coming in, but the whole idea is that, are we really transforming, is the first question. If we do it, and if we really believe that that's a need, and that's going to help my business, I think there's a lot more going to come in the future.
Thank you very much. You know, the SME transformation we can think, but large corporate, Mr. Chandani, when you are working with this Patel Engineering, you have to compete with so many top corporates. Those are in this infrastructure development, big tunnel, even tunnel in Kashmir, Jammu, and a big hill type, or in a river, or in a river or sea. So when you prepare or create this kind of planning, transformation, not only in a house, but on site, what is your views on that? How we can adapt the ecosystem, particularly not for the infrastructure related, but on the manufacturing related or any other businesses, where we can think to take out the quality output using the current platform and using the advanced platform.
So that's a very good question, and we ask that all the time, because the areas, like I said, where we go, nobody's there. We go there first. And that has kind of a dual issue, because we go in such remote areas where, I'll give you an example, this is in 2015, We were in a very remote area of J&K. And we were standing looking at a quarry for our aggregate, and there's a very little girl that came by. A very cute girl came by, where she came running and she kind of held my finger. And I didn't know what to do. So, you know, the company driver was there and he's saying, you know, why don't you give us some money? And her mother was standing on the other side of the road. And this is probably the last, in that particular range, it was the highest peak. And I just got some money out and I gave it to her. She ran to her mother on the other side. And honest to God, it's strange. She looked at the money and she didn't know what it was. She didn't know what it was. And I was wondering, I said, have we come to a barter land in 2015? I mean, where are we? We're talking about digitization. And the reason I was there is because we were wondering how to get internet there in that remote area. And for all of us of Himalayas, we think it's very big, but it's the youngest chain in the world, at least in this region, if I'm not in the world. So they are very soft mountains. So we stand there and we said, do we get connectivity here? He said, oh, this is going to fall tomorrow. Go here. So you're standing there and I gave it to her, and turns out she had actually never dealt with money. Because walnuts come down and rice goes up. She never had to deal with money. Fast forward, 2021, I went back, she had a little store accepting UPI payments, ATM. Because the internet connectivity that we had brought up there through VSAT and radio, we extended that down as a part of the contract, which we had to do. Now what happens with efficiency when, one, you change the ecosystems culturally, you make a difference there, but it changes the mindset, like you mentioned. So the skill set and how we bring efficiency to that point, we look at the small contractors who we help grow. Because in that area, we try and get one as a part of the contract, and the second part is we as a company are dedicated to actually bringing societal change. That is why we exist. So we look for small and medium-sized vendors locally whom we can transform. And that's when we extend our technologies to them at the time for planning, because today it may seem very small, but one of our sites, actually we took over 6,000 local contractors because we needed only at that time. So 6,000 local workers, with maybe about 100 contractors. None of them digitally transformed, did not understand. They would come with volumes of Aadhaar card and they would say just do it because you had transient worker who didn't understand. To educate them at that point, that what is the value of them getting an Aadhaar card into the EPFO system so that their child does not have to go through this. They can take loans for education the next time to put that child through school, because once we are gone. So that transformation which is happening at that level, our planning for the manpower actually transforms at every given level of the vendor. We who are at that level need connectivity so that there's one version of the truth. I keep saying that because an email drawing which we send from the Himalayas down, I have one copy. One is lying in an email to 5 people. They shift it, they make the changes, they send it back. So now I have 10 files for that one drawing. And that's where Microsoft SharePoint came in. We put in there, you access it, and you change it. Now how does that help in planning and the last man? Because we don't have all efficiencies with us. Now our consultants get the vendor module. Now they become digitally aware that now they have to work on that one drawing. So our planning comes in a very large scale because of technology. Otherwise we are dealing with probably 50 drawings in a week sometimes. And we don't know which one. So everybody's been through computer version 1 final, version 1.1.2 final, last submitted final. That doesn't happen in a lot of cases with us because now the vendor has participated with us. We have a very strong vendor training program where the vendor has to actually start taking the training to work with us. So these kind of micro changes, they start with us and then like a competitor, we are a very small, we are number 1 in Hydra, but so we compete with the 5 or 6 companies. So when we are there, the same vendor goes to another company now and has everything in place. So he's in a better state. So with this, the planning, the resources, the community, everything gets transformed. As far as technology is concerned, it extends.
Good. Very interesting. Mr. Varghese, taking forward this planning work, what will be the, strategy to be, planned for the SME sector particularly or manufacturing industry in rapidly, changing this ecosystem where industry or SMEs can, adopt, acquire, obtain or retain or develop their ecosystem particularly for the efficiency or improvement of the quality or using the AI, how they can enhance their profitability or rather the business growth or development. What is your observation and what is your suggestions particularly to industry? Every day there is a change. Being an architect of this, cloud computing, let me share one thought. 2002, we have organized one program, and there was a discussion on the cloud computing. One entrepreneur stand up, he said, हमारा डेटा और हमारा पैसा चोरी हो जाएगा तो कैसे होगा उसमें क्लाउड पर. तो मैंने पूछा क्या टर्न बोला 10 करोड़. तो नेक्स्ट टू मी देयर वाज आईसीआईसीआई बैंक, वन ऑफ द सीनियर एग्जीक्यूटिव, ही सेड हमारा पूरा पैसा उसी क्लाउड पर है, पूरा इन्फॉर्मेशन उसी क्लाउड पे, हमारा चोरी नहीं होता है, तो आपका 10 करोड़ कैसे चोरी होगा. सो दिस इज lacking amongst the entrepreneurs. What is your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so my point would be that every time something new comes in, right, as a company we should at least explore what are the opportunities for that technology, right? Where can we leverage that in our existing environment, right? I'm not saying that we should go ahead, day two we go ahead and implement it, no, okay? At least try doing a POC to see, okay, how can we benefit out of it? Because the reason I say is, it's better to do this before we are too late in the game, okay? I had a customer who came to me, I was sharing that example, right? Fertilizer company. He had 15 years of data, hard copy data, right? And while they were focusing on other business, on how to get the fertilizer to the market, how to get stuff transported, all those things, they were left behind on the technology part. Now they have 15 years of hard copy data. So I asked them, how much do you think, how much data do you have? Close to 150 TB, right? Now what do we do with it, right? So I have a problem here, right? I have a customer who wants to move 150 TB of hard copy data and want to do a digital transformation, right? Not some easy task, because the main problem is you scan the data, right? Even if you put it in SharePoint, how do you search for it, right? You have to do the indexing, you have to put the date, subject, right? And after that, even if you do that, how do you read the content within the Word file, because it's in an image format, right? So that is where we introduced the Microsoft Semantics Index Search, right? Where with the help of AI, right, we are able to read text in the image, right? So if this is a copy and if I take a photo of it, the program, the algorithm will be able to read the text from the image itself, right? So we had that. It was extensive. So the point I'm trying to make is the money they spent in this project, if they had invested on a timely basis for 15 years, it wouldn't have costed half of it. Because all of it together, right now you're looking at 150 TB of data which they want to digitally transform, you're spending millions on it. But if they had eventually at each stint adapted with SharePoint, pushed their data, I mean, it wouldn't have cost them much. So my point is, you have to try every technology that is there in the market, no matter if it's from your competition, wherever it comes from. Try it out. If it works for you, adapt it. If it's not, leave it.
But one thing I want to understand from you, the AI will destroy the man's brain or develop?
It depends. It depends on how you use it. So I can stay stupid and just rely on Copilot all the time, or otherwise I can use Copilot to my benefit to learn. So tomorrow if something comes up, instead of me putting some effort into it, I can just say, Copilot, why don't you do it for me? Copilot will do it for you, right? And if I do it for next 10 days or 1 month, I am becoming more and more stupid each day. But with the data Copilot gives me, if I work on it, learn and try to adapt and kind of change the way. So a presentation I used to do it with 10 slides. With the help of Copilot, I learn, I build, make it to 5 slides. I'm learning, I'm growing myself. So it makes me more smarter, right? But I'm just relying on Copilot. Copilot gives me 10 slides. I put it in front of you, present it, I'm becoming more stupid. So it depends on how you use it.
So because when you show this slide in front of Mexican Council General, he started little bit to disturb. Because tomorrow Mr. Modi will start talking in a Mexican language. Then we have to go for an election there also.
So that's why, as the name states, right, it's just a co-pilot. You are still the pilot, right? So it's just there to assist you, right? Just make use of it, that's it. Do not let it be your master.
So looking at this AI development, transformation and latest solutions, Mr. Devidas, Indian people are now clever for selecting the insurance products. So, but what is your observation while this all transformed solutions, whether it will be useful to identify the best affordable insurance or insurance for the securing the health and wealth and our interest?
No. It is help for the risk management and risk evaluations. It will help to cover your all type of risk. Insurance means it will help you with financial losses. If you have to cover all parameters of your risk, otherwise there is no use. If you cover health and wealth is not an insurance. So many products are there to cover your, especially for SMEs. After health, life and motor, protection gap is very high in India. Whatever the transformation happening to help to get a maximum insurance cover, insurance cost doesn't matter. Insurance claim is very important. If you go for the claim insurance protection, you have to cover 100% coverage. You have recent developments is happening for the transformation of digital technology and etc. You have to get an actual coverage is required. For this, suppose you have to cover entire risk, you will get it. Big data will help you, artificial intelligence, what are the covers required. That is the main. The InsurTech is making big impact in the insurance industry. Embedded products are there, parametric insurance are there. Whatever the products you require, that you will get it. You know that most of the insurance policies, people are not opening the document. Now the situation is changing to smart contract. If you insure, you will get it whatever the parameters you insure within few lines instead of 5-6 pages of the insurance copy. Recent survey is showing even online sales also. 80% of the online sales, whatever the policy documents sent by mail, people are opening the mail but not opening the document. Once the claim happened, only go through the documents. Now that is going to be changed. It will be a smart contract. Then you can see the instant products. It is a short-term products. While if you are traveling, whatever the risk you are happening, whatever the risk presently you are happening, hours basis, whatever the risk you have to face, wherever you are moving, you can go for an insurance cover. Short-term insurance are coming hours basis or daily basis. That is going to be changed. That's or what I can tell is already started this insurance industry to change.
Transfer. You want to say something?
Yeah,
please.
I just had one thing to add to Mr. Varghese. The one thing that changed, which is very noticeable, and I look at it because my main forte is requirements. What technology does for us is sets you free. That's how you're supposed to look at it. Systems, like a good example was COVID. It surfaced an entrepreneur either through need or want in each one of us. It empowered women for anything in our houses, right? They were not only cooking for us, but they were cooking and selling stuff through the medium of WhatsApp, transacting through UPI, And if that business moved, they could just go to Tally and start. This module, and they could go to Insta and Facebook, put their cooking up, get the money for it, no interaction of a human being, get Swiggy, pick it up, and get their money. All of it was an encapsulated set of transactions or touch points enveloped in their own domain of expertise, which threaded together got a small business going. So I would look at any of these, and that is how we've perceived technology, that in any of our domains, instead of looking at it as a threat, how do I partner with it so that I get my daily work done easily, so I can get more creative in what I need to do and solve bigger problems than work on those mundane slides. Because slides are not getting me anywhere, they are just communicating. So instead of sitting and decorating them for 10 hours, why don't I get the right information in them, edit it, and throw it out there while I go do my problem solving. Because the minute I hear I've got a review, everybody stops. I stop, my entire team stops, they're putting presentations together, which are going to last for an hour if in case your MD has the time. So I think partnering with technology so that SOPs can be taken care of while we do bigger things. That is how I look at technology.
Changing, rather rapidly changing this ecosystem. Now I'm thinking to, my AI started thinking that, we can have a rapid questions. Data security.
So it's very important because you are if your data gets leaked, the amount of damage it can do is immense, and people don't understand that. So it's very important that you have data security in place. You ensure that your documents are labeled correctly, the permissions that you give, everything is in control. So all the security guardrails you have available in Microsoft or wherever your productivity is, you please ensure that your data, those guardrails are in place for your data.
Smart business solutions.
Yeah, that's the need. I think, we said, we talked about tools and all that. We're not taking the human element out of it. But yeah, the need is very important that you use technology. Smart business solutions effectively means that you're basically improving on your efficiency and you're basically operationalizing things better. Saving time. I started my presentation with a theme or a model: faster, simpler, closer. I think I stick to that. If you have to be faster, if you have to be simpler, and you have to be closer, you have to be using those smart business solutions. That's how it is.
How we can use phrase that before you, Patel Engineering goes. Patel Engineering goes means in a hilly area, you will not think that road can be constructed or developed, but Patel Engineering goes and then do study and do it. How the SME think that, before you do any particular business in China, you start working here.
Yeah, you dream we are there.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Insurance competition. Competition in insurance sectors.
Yeah. Nowadays, so many insurance companies are coming. India already 67 insurance companies, life and non-life, and 13 reinsurance companies are there. The competition is actually still, there is a one talk is that insurance penetration is very low in India, protection gap also very high. But that is not going to change after not a change after the liberalization. Now the insurance for 2047, that is going to happen or not happen. But there is a competition among the insurers, actually the product devices, because almost 450 health insurance products are available in the market. Instant product innovations and services changing very rapidly, because that is changing according to the customer's need. Technology is changing according to the demand and needs of the customers. Now InsurTech is doing a fantastic job in insurance market. They are producing so many products according to the customer's need. So many products are coming in the market. So many insurance companies are there, I already told you. So intermediaries also changing now. Before only agents was there, then after liberalization, brokers, web aggregators, insurance marketing firms, marketing, corporate agents, etc. Now so many newer entrants are coming. Insurtechs are the main players, but distribution channels also So many insurance channels also coming. Now the insurance brokers' contribution in the industry is also increasing rapidly for commercial business. These are almost crossing 35%. Before it is 10 years back, it was 10 to 15%. Now it is instead for 35%. Insurance brokers are doing the commercial business, especially liability products, industrial products, health and wealth, health products and life product, and motor is doing agency channel and corporate channel. But brokers are doing the commercial business. More intermediaries come. More insurtechs also develop fast, and fintech and insurtechs are correlated. That collaboration is creating so many products, instant products. That is very good for the insurance industry. More insurers are coming, more intermediaries are coming, then insurtech also developing, new products also coming, peer-to-peer insurance, parametric insurance also coming to India. That is changes happening.
Thank you. Friends, this is a Do Big Conclave, which is focusing on the SME industries and particularly for empowerment of SME sector. You know, without understanding the time to do big. So entrepreneurs will not go ahead with their prospective way or path. So last message to the SME sector. What things to be they adapted to, adapt to do big in their business, while technology, skill manpower, or advanced or new market?
All three go hand in hand, and as you said, time to do big. This do big has a very smart theme behind it. It's about thinking. It's more about thinking. You may have started small, but it's obviously each one of us want to kind of dream big. And in all the discussions what we had till now, the only lesson which we arrive at, and that is in most of the forums we arrive at, is how to become smarter. How do we kind of use smart solutions to effectively influence the business? So I would conclude it with very simple thought: understand your business well. Understand your business well, and answer the questions of how you stay ahead of the competition. If you don't question that, and if you don't believe in the answers what we are discussing here, I think someone else will take it over. So that's the speed what we see in the market, and it's very important for all of us to realize.
So Mr. Varghese, SME should think that they should be faster than AI. So what is your thoughts on AI to do big?
Adapt and adoption, just buying 10 license is not enough. I mean, in the sense, you have to kind of get to know the features, how it's going to impact your business, right? Try it out. Like if you have third-party applications, build connectors, build plugins, see how you can retrieve the data from the backend database, all those things, right? Just buying the license is not enough. You have to kind of adopt to it.
So you want to say learn to earn more.
You can say that.
Thank you.
Use it.
So Mr. Chandani, what is your thoughts and message will be particularly to become a bigger company, because you are aware that transforming SMEs into emerging corporate, emerging enterprises, it is not an easy task and not a difficult task. But as I said earlier that before anybody goes to any place that you are reaching there to construct the road. So what is your message for that?
Like you started the session saying, this is the best time to be in India. This is the best time to think big and to actually put your efforts to become big. Leverage technology so that you can access. Never in the history of humanity has been communication and to connect with somebody been so easy. To go to the right forums, attract the right talent. Talent is not going to stay with you if you're not up to date. If you don't give them the right tools. Everybody is in the business to make money. That is why you exist in a business. After that, the CSRs and everything come in. Otherwise, you cannot sustain it. But if you want to become small, from small to get big, think big, access big, and people are willing. It's a strange thing. Everybody wants good people. Vendors are people. If you are good at what you do, everybody will want you. But what is good? Good is good latest technology that you can offer for saving costs, for increasing customer experience, and keeping people happy and providing the service when I want it. I want it, that time you provide and you go. If you want to go from small to big, medium to big, and very large, that's the key. Especially today and in India, because you have access to the whole world through all the common platforms which have become democratic. Every single person on this planet has the same opportunity and the same 24 hours now, and the same access to communications. I mean, think about it. One request to LinkedIn opens you up to 250 people across another person. It's only permission based. It's only how hard you want to work in this time before somebody else gets it.
Thank you. Mr. Devidas, from good big to better big.
Go for a risk management and risk evaluation. Take it insurance premium as an investment. Please keep it in mind. Climate changes and political crisis across the world. It is good for you. Take it investment as an insurance premium. Go for a maximum insurance coverage. I have to tell you, go for a maximum coverage. Don't go for a under insurance, or don't make it protection gap. Cover all your risk, financial risk. Insurance is the place your financial losses. It is including your third-party liabilities also, because it's going to. What I can tell is the channels are there. You are interacting with different channels for the intermediaries and etc. Please cover your risk, especially SMEs, to cover the third-party liabilities. Okay.
Means you want to say that you buy insurance product from Tata. Am I right?
Better to buy good product. Cover your protection. That's very important. It's a replace of your finance. You have to save your hard money, because again I'm repeating, the climate changes and political crisis. Trade credit insurance, cyber insurance. Please keep it in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Means you want to say that whenever there is a advanced technology, we should think more advanced than that technology.
Exactly, exactly. Technology developed according to the customer's need and development.
Yes, thank you. While we're discussing here, panel discussion, how many entrepreneurs, how many delegates have created question in their mind? Can you raise a hand? No one? Or thinking for a lunch? Yes, Mr. Bhatt. Rather, you should have a question in your mind. These are the stalwarts people, from cloud computing, smart business solutions, infrastructure, insurance, all are different sectors. Yes, Mr. Bhatt.
That is, I have a lot of experience in getting hospitalized. That is for treatments. Whenever you go there, their first question is, are you cashless or otherwise? And the quotation differs in both the cases. Could you?
Yeah, I'll inform you, almost 45 days back, IRDA and General Insurance Council given a direction to all insurers that already adopted. There is all insurance claims are cashless. You can go to the hospital, you can give the details, they will get approval within an hour for the cashless.
No, that is true. Yeah. That we have been getting. But yeah. I am saying that why their question is first, whenever you say how much will be my expenditure, they say, are you cashless?
No, now they will not ask that. Now all the policy is cashless. All the claims is cashless. No reimbursement. After hospitalization expenses and pre-hospitalization expenses, only the reimbursement. Whatever the admission cost, it is a cashless. Now all insurance policies cashless now. This change.
My apologies for wrong question. Yeah. If I am ready to pay cash without insurance cover,
yeah.
All right,
yeah.
The quote is different.
Yeah.
And if I say I have insurance, the quotation is different.
That is there. Yeah, okay, that is happening. There may be charged 10 to 15%.
That's why they ask question, cashless or cash?
They will ask, yeah.
Yeah.
Even you go for an X-ray
so
or
it is cashless,
yeah.
Then they will charge something higher.
The reason I will tell you, for cashless, they will get a reimbursement from the insurance company 40 to 50 days. That's the reason. This is an instant money. That is everywhere in all the business it is happening.
I appreciate.
It
But
is happening in insurance industry also. The instant money, it is more.
is it 10-20% or far higher?
According to me, it is 5 to 10%. It is called as a fraud.
Okay. All right.
Anyone, any other question? Yes, please. Your name, your organization name, and your question to the specific
I'm
analyst.
Manoj Karani from Vidyalankar Institute of Technology, Department of Management Sciences. We have been getting messages that one has to adapt because technology is changing too fast. Now the today's scenario is life of technology is also changing, but it's pretty small. So by the time we adopt one technology, something new is coming up. So at what point we have to decide that what technology we are adopting to grow our business is, or it will take us through for next 2 to 3 years, because by the time we adopt it, something new comes and then we are looked at that, ye to old technology pe hai. So what are the guidelines or what are your suggestions? Question is open to everyone.
Vishal.
See, this has been in a way addressed in some shape and form by the technology world. Technology has been there for quite some time. It's not that we're talking technology now. Adoption, digital is the theme right now. But yeah, you look at IBM superframes, mainframes, and then coming to PCs and all that stuff. The technology, use of cloud, use of internet, physical lines, and all that. But the revolution which has happened is that what the problem statement that you suggested is saying technology is changing very fast, so what should we buy, what should we adapt to, and if it changes 2 years down the line, 3 years down, what do we do? And that is where the concept of virtual world is coming into play. Now, in this virtual world, you don't basically stick to one. That whole model is scalable. For example, if you look at products like Microsoft Azure, you look at and a traditional way of how you basically go to cloud, you use a co-locator server and put a physical server, buy a hardware capex-based model, and then effectively after 3 years you realize because this server is not basically meant to be running from an application. I need a higher RAM, I need a higher hard disk, I need high bandwidth. The whole thing is changing. Now it's about virtual world. You plug and play. Now if you want to, and it's the right time, I'll give you an example of elections. We basically serve SIP channels. This is a voice channel to companies. And a lot of aggregators buy from us. They are the voice aggregators who basically do a lot of calling for banks, for other people. So suddenly there's a demand. Yesterday I received a demand from one of the companies. They said they need 50,000 channels for 3 months. I said, for what? I said, just for 3 months. I said, IPL Arana. What do we do? So, and as a technology provider, we can't think of saying, I need to kind of raise my infra, now I buy new servers. Everything is scalable. Now, I just have to tell them, okay, fine, how do you want it? You want to phase it? You want to place it in one place? You want a single number? You want a number across the country? Similarly, the elections are coming up and there's huge demand, and you know that how elections are getting conducted these days. Gone are the days when you will see campaigning happening on the roads. It's happening completely on digital platforms and completely scalable. You bring it up one day, you bring it down, the elections are over. That's what is technology. So things are changing that way. So I think what you look at basically, are you buying a scalable one or are you buying a fixed one? Or are you buying a capex based model or are you buying it? So depending on your need, you would want rather kind of evaluate and then take it.
Oh, thank you very much. Last question. Other question we can have while having a lunch. Insurance we will take one by one. Any technology question? Yes, please. No technology. Insurance we can have a discussion later on. So friends, it's very interesting discussion, interesting information presented by Vishal, Mr. Varghese, even Mr. Chandani, Mr. Devidas. Particularly, when ChatGPT has come up, one of my friend sitting next to me and he said, my wife is not happy today because I fought with her. So I'm asking ChatGPT, give me a write-up that how I can convince my wife for whatever fought in the morning. So I want to inform that don't depend on that. Start writing start studying, start developing, use AI for a business efficiency, for improving your efficiency and productivity. AI not saying that don't write or stop your writing, stop your thinking. Use for a further development, further growth. So we will not stop now, we will stop here, and we will not stop you to take lunch, and let's meet outside for the lunch. Thank you very much, and thanks for Tata Tele Business Services for providing dream thoughts to do big. All the best for all the speakers, and particularly